Now, this morning we want to talk about 9 things that causes collapse of houses in Nigeria, especially story building. Okay, 9 things. 9 things. Okay, 9 things that causes house collapse in Nigeria. Number one is natural causes like floods. We thank God for now we don't have earthquake in Nigeria. We don't have earthquake. We have flood. We have floods. Sometimes tornadoes rolls out. Heavy winds roll out the rooftop of houses, and consequently, since most of the houses are mud, so because then the subsequent rainfall now brushes out the remains of the buildings. So we have like flooding. We are prone to flooding here, maybe because of the ecological way or the way the situations of the. In fact, we are prone to sometimes when dams are released, it flooded most of the. But the natural causes like rainfall, heavy rainfall, because that's one. Two, wrong mixture of ratio of cement to sand, especially in building of blocks. That's one of those things. It is sometimes when yes, especially story building. I'm emphasizing on this because bungalow sometimes we will go to that. Okay. Now, when there's collapse in any building, the first thing to do is to look for the engineer who inspected or who supervised the job. Yes, it's good because it's going to long, but I expect government officials to go far than that. They go to the root cause. Of course, the engineer should be held responsible because he certified that the block is okay and everything was okay before the erection or something, even from the ground floor, from the foundation, okay, from digging of the foundation and the blinding and subsequent raising up to DPC and so on and so forth, okay. So these are things. So wrong mixture of block of the mixture is made to sand in molding of blocks. You go to site sometime because I do visit sites. You go to sometime and you just hold some block, you just hold them. Depends on the category, it could be 9 inches, 6 inches, 5 inches, and so on and so forth. But the mixture is what matters. How thick it is. What's the ratio of cement to block of sand before the mixture of this? So this is the second factor. The third one is the categories of rod used. Is it steel or cast? Some, if you bend, you see, let me just give that an example to iron benders who go to site. You bend your distance like this. If it goes back, it's good. That's steel. Cast, if you bend, it will stand. That cannot stand the test of time during deflection, especially in the story. So people should be careful. Okay, people should be very careful. So that is another thing. That is categories of rod used during, especially the slab and the pillar. Okay, and the pillar of the houses is key, especially the pillars of the houses is matter. So story building, I'm talking about these high-rise buildings. Okay, so that is just it. Now another one is that the depth of the foundation you are building in the houses, in your house before you start blinding and erecting your pillars and blind them before you start raising blocks matters a lot. You make it very shallow. Some people, if you just, especially bungalows, I just see. I say, this is man to man. This is, now everybody's engineers now. We go to site, see engineer. If you've been on site for some time, there are things you need to know. Sometimes when you dig foundations, where there's an excavation after the profile pegging and there's an excavation, then you see sometimes there are some holes inside. These are things that should be done. Okay, maybe like brushing, there should be a kind of hole, maybe rat holes or something. It is so engineers don't really inspect all these things. That's why no doubt they hold them responsible. You see, they are not on the same parallel level. Okay, the excavation, they just leave it like that. Some of those should be excavated. Those should then put cement on that, put concrete there. Then before you start, you level it before you start even blinding itself properly. Okay, so that is how it should be. Now, another thing that is so that is just the depth of the foundation matters a lot because these things should not even take the same thing. The foundation of a story building and that of bungalow should not be the same thing. Okay, that of the story should be very deeper. Okay, so that every is better deeper than the necessary than because if you only consume more cement and so on and so forth. Now the next one is the age of the building itself. The age of the building, that's what really matters. Okay. Now if the building itself overlaps, but I see some buildings that have stayed for over 100 years and people are still using it. Do not forget, there's a story building. I'm emphasizing on it. When building, there are questions that should arise. People don't really, architects don't even really want to go into that. You should ask about who are the residents, how many people will occupy this place. It's going to talk about, it's going to tell much on the sockaway, how many people that use the sockaway, how many people that we talk about the load, talk about the life load. The life load consists of the human beings that will be there. Is it only you, or will you have tenants around there, or is it that you get dead load consists of maybe your refrigerator, your maybe light machines, or so your bags, your television, and so on and so forth. But when at the end of the day, if the age of the distance during deflection of the weakening of the rods that you have there in as one of the categories, okay. Now, if at the end of the day the load is now becoming weakening as the result of the age, what we call the age distance, okay. The age of the distance, the lifespan of the building, the age of the distance now matters a lot. Okay, it causes the deflection because and some people will now start bringing more machines as against the original plan meant for the building. Okay, that's another one. So another one is alteration of load, whether life load. Although I emphasize on that, alteration. Some buildings that collapse in Lagos or in other parts of the major cities of Nigeria is as a result of alteration of the load, whether life or load. I've emphasized life load are consists of human beings. Then dead loads are people are even guilty. The occupants are guilty of this. Maybe because of no money or a kind of hardship or something. Buildings that are meant for residential are now factories, where big machines are brought into it, generators on top, vibrating everywhere, forgetting that the age of the distance is telling on the building. Maybe there's no money now, well, all the occupants have left, and now the only people that approach you are those who are into fabrication, and you just give them the first floor, and they are destroying everything, a vibration every day. That's one of those things, okay? That's another thing. So alteration, when you alter the load, okay, the heavy load, as against the original plan of the distance, because when you are building a house plan, an architect will tell you, you see, you have as well for the story building, you have a architectural page, you have a mechanical page, you have electrical pages. Then you go to as far as now what we call structural pages that will tell us the slab, okay, that tell us the foundation layout. That's for the ground floor. Then the first floor of that's the first floor. Then the slab, okay, the reinforcement is the calculation of how many rods as compared to the pillars that hold the distance. That's why sometimes when there's a shootout, they are supposed to call standalone pillar to hold it down. But when you begin to import loads, bigger, higher machines, that can cause it to collapse. Okay. Then you have a grid, unbearing grid of even the engineers, the so-called engineers, and the landlord themselves. Grid is that you have to maximize my cement for me. One cement for 100 blocks. One cement for the blind. One cement to 1 million sand, maybe wheelbarrow sand or headpans of sand. So just pour them, provided you erect it. It's not good. It's not done like that. Whether it's even bungalow itself, it's not good. It's not good. So let's avoid greed. The another thing is that the engineers, there's what we call the engineers that okay, there's what we call chemical attack. Yes, it has been observed that there are some chemicals that when there's an attack, there are chemicals that can destroy no matter how strong houses are. Okay, I've made my research and I discovered that it's like that. There are some chemicals that could be used to destroy a house in a moment. So research has gone as far as that. So that one is not anybody's fault. But during the research, the engineer could still be held responsible. Then after the investigation, the engineer will be released and find out that expert will be on site to investigate those things. That's why sometimes where houses collapse, they first of all take the rod, then bring the piece of the block, then try to get a kind of survey, get all those things to inspect which actually buildings. So all those will be analyzed. Then after the conclusion, the engineer either will be released or will have to serve sentence. Then the last but not least is the government intervention. That one is called bulldozing. Okay, destroying, which means if you build your house on the right of way, or on the government's land, or maybe on the way of flowing of water or something, on the drainage, the government may come to destroy it. Or on the other hand, if you are using that premise to attack government in power, it is paramount that, or very important, or it is mandatory that the government now will come heavily on you. The law of the land will now catch up on you, and that house will be demolished. These are the 9 points that make houses collapse in Nigeria. Thank you. Now, I want us to know one thing, that I draw house plan. I am Sally Emmanuel. I am the CEO of Sally Emmanuel Concept, and it's registered with CAC in Nigeria, and I'm mandated to do business in construction, especially residential building. I love because I draw house plan, construction, then craftsmanship and internet services. These are the 3 things I'm mandated to operate. Okay, that craftsmanship means people learn work from me. I train people, I mentor people. That's why my video at youtube.com/@SallyEmmanuel1. You see there, you see I mentor. I teach several things. Okay, internet services, most of those things. That majorly I draw house plan. So I want you to contact me if you want my work. I love it's part of the job. So I need job. I must use that to cry out. I need contract. Since I've not gotten the contract, I need a contract from people. Okay, I'll work it, then I can pay my own tax because I want to build my country. I want to be part of the building. So this is the part of the job I have. I do. This is my house plan. Okay. This is my ground floor. This is my ground floor. So call this number. Call this number. Call this number. Use the front elevation. Now, let me call my number to you. That's the card of any version for my house plan. So call 080-3758-1115. I repeat, 080-3758-1115 or 080-55666-041. That's my Glo. Okay? These 2 lines, you call them, then I'll be able to answer you. I want contract. I want you to give me job. Okay? I will do the right job for you. Or if you want to see my work, go to my free blog, because I use my free blog because of the attack on my website. I decided not to use normal website now. I use blog to interface to my YouTube. Go to my free blog, write it down, please write it down. Then you get the picture of this house plan very clearly and my contact there. SALIUEMMANUEL blog SBLOG.blogspot.com. I repeat, SALIUEMMANUELSBLOG.blogspot.com. That is Saliu Emmanuel's blog.blogspot.com. Okay? Saliu Emmanuel's blog.blogspot.com. Okay? Now, if you get there, go down, go to About Me or About Saliu Emmanuel. Click it. When you get to About Saliu Emmanuel and you click it and get to that place, nobody will tell you. You will see my picture there. Then you will see the blog. You will see a craft outside. You read some article. You see my contact. You see about craft. Then if you click that craft, or just get there, you get all the information. From there, you'll be able to see my house plan that I draw there. I need contract. I need job. If you're in Nigeria, especially, call those lines. Thank you.